Rabbit Hill by Robert Lawson. Chapter 5. Porky Sits Tight. There's Porky and one of the rabbits. Maybe that's little Georgie. We'll find out. The next few days saw great doings on the hill. In fact, there was so much going on that Father was fairly worn out keeping an eye on things. The vegetable garden was plowed, harrowed, and raked. It was a good, generous garden, double its former size. And to everyone's relief, there was no fence around it. The flower beds had been cultivated and fertilized, all the lawns dug up, raked, and rolled, ready for reseeding. Now the north field was being plowed. Tim McGrath, riding his roaring tractor, whistled happily as he watched the brown earth roll from the plowshares in clean, straight furrows. From the door of Porky's home, Porky and Father watched proceedings approvingly. As the tractor ceased its roaring momentarily, Louis Kernstock, rebuilding a stone wall, called to Tim. "What are they going to plant there, Tim?" "Buckwheat," he replied. "Buckwheat now, later turn it under and plant clover and timothy." "Oh, did you hear that?" Porky nudged Father gleefully. "Buckwheat! Why, I ain't had myself into a good field of buckwheat, and I don't know when. Oh, my, oh, my!" "You haven't heard any mention of bluegrass, have you?" added Father hopefully. "No, I ain't," said Porky, "but I can do with buckwheat, not having no fancy Kentucky stomach. Reckon your old lady will be glad to hear about this, too. Them little buckwheat cakes she used to make was mighty fine, mighty fine. Just think." He sighed ecstatically. "A whole field of buckwheat, and right in my front yard, as you might say." "Mention of your front yard reminds me, Porky," Father began, "that I must talk seriously with you concerning the dangers inherent in your present location. Should the newcomers—" Porky interrupted him rudely. "If all them words mean that you're starting in again to talk about my moving, you might as well save your wind. I ain't going to do it." He hunched his shoulders stubbornly. "There ain't a finer burrow nowheres on this hill. I've worked hard in this place, and I ain't a-going to do it." "As I was saying," Father continued, "should the newcomers introduce dogs to our midst, your situation here immediately adjacent to the house would be perilous in the extreme." "Can take care of myself," Porky muttered. "No one desires to cast reflections on your personal courage, Porky, nor on your ability to fend for yourself." Father was becoming slightly impatient now. "But your stubborn and unreasonable attitude is causing your friends a great deal of pain. I have talked the matter over with the buck and the gray fox, and we are firmly resolved that should there be dogs, and should you still persist in your refusal to listen to reason, we shall, much as we might regret it, be reduced to the use of force to remove you bodily to a safer location. We have also talked it over with Fewey, who is in perfect agreement with us. He can, as you know, render your home unfit for habitation in a very few moments, and he is fully prepared to do so, should it become necessary." Having delivered this ultimatum, Father stalked away, but Porky merely humped his shoulders more stubbornly and continued to mutter, "Ain't a-going to do it, ain't a-going to do it." There he is, sitting outside his burrow. Father found Fewey and the gray fox inspecting the newly repaired chicken house and run. The run was built of stout wire, but the gray fox had already chosen and marked the spot where he planned to tunnel under it. Fewey, who preferred the younger chicks, was contemplating digging under the coop itself. "A nice tender one now and then is fine," he was saying, "but I wouldn't be bothering with them if I was sure what the garbage situation's going to be. What I hope is they ain't going to have one of them newfangled garbage cans that's buried in the ground. Them ones with heavy iron lids, why, they're downright dangerous, oughtn't to be allowed. Had a cousin over here at Charcoal Hill got caught in one of them. Got it open all right, and was enjoying himself when kerbam! Down came the lid, and there he was. He was there all night. He sure had enough of garbage time the maid came out next morning. She got enough of skunk, too, when she opened that lid," he chuckled. "Left that day, she did. Served them folks right, having any such dangerous contraption." "Perhaps they will dig a pit and bury it," Father suggested. I don't hold with that either, Few, he answered. A plumb waste, that is, mixing nice fresh garbage with old stale garbage and the tin cans and dirt and all. No, sir. What I like to see is a good old-fashioned garbage can with a nice loose-fitting lid. And if these folks is thoughtful, considerate actin' folks, that's the kind of can they'll have. Father found the subject a bit distasteful, so he continued his stroll, and soon came across Willie Fieldmouse and his friend Mole. "Good evening, William," said Father. "I trust that all of your friends and relatives succeeded in removing their mousehold goods from the north field before the plowing began." "Yes, indeed, sir. Thank you kindly, sir," answered Willie politely. "And they are all very grateful to you for warning them in time." "Not at all, not at all," replied Father. "I merely chanced to overhear Mr. McGrath remark that he was starting it next day, and was thus enabled to spread the word. I only wish that certain other people were as quick to respond to suggestions made for their own good." "You mean Porky?" asked Willie. "Ain't he the stubborn old codger?" Father regarded Willie severely. "Mr. Porky, William, is one of the very oldest and most highly regarded members of our community, and as such he is entitled to a certain amount of respect from flippant young people." "Yes, sir," said Willie. "Mole," Father went on, surveying the smoothly raked front lawn, "this is a very beautiful piece of grading. You should enjoy some splendid burrowing here." The mole picked up a bit of soil and crumbled it in his paw. "Little soft yet for good digging," he said, "and then all the grubs are scattered and scared away. But in 2-3 weeks now, when the young grass gets a good start and the grubs gather again, nothing they love like good tender grass roots, you know, then I'm going to have myself some real hunting." At this moment little Georgie galloped up, fairly bursting with news. "Coming tomorrow, Pa," he shouted. "Coming tomorrow. I just heard Louis Kernstalk telling Tim McGrath that they ought to get those holes in the driveway filled up on account of the moving vans are coming tomorrow. The folks, too, coming tomorrow." "Splendid," said Father. "At least we shall be enabled to ascertain the character and disposition of our new neighbors, and learn what canine or feline hazards may accompany them. By the way, Georgie, do not mention moving vans in your mother's presence. You remember little Throckmorton?" Little Georgie did very well, for Throckmorton had been one of Mother's very favorite grandchildren. A moving van had been the cause of his taking off, and Mother had an unreasoning terror of them ever since. The news, of course, spread like wildfire. All that evening the burrow was filled with chatter and speculation and the coming and going of callers. Father's caution about the mention of vans was futile, for the moment Mother learned that the arrival of new folks was imminent, she cried, "Moving vans!" and burst into tears. She threw her apron over her head and wept for some time, demanding that little Georgie be confined to the burrow on the morrow until all danger was past. "Now, Molly, don't take on so," consoled Uncle Aldous. "Ain't no sense in it. Why, with that bumpety, twisty driveway full of holes like it is, couldn't no ding-blasted moving van make speed enough to danger a box turtle. Besides, I'll be there, and what I don't know about moving vans and folks and dogs and cats, nobody don't know." Mother vowed that she would not stir from the burrow the entire day, but Uncle Aldous poked Father in the ribs. "Don't worry," he chuckled. "She'll be out there right along all the rest of us, a-looking and a-watching. I know about women, too." End of chapter 5.